So this is a whole. So when you look at this, this is 1, okay? Just a 1. Because if I take this, am I breaking it? Are there pieces to this? Are there any pieces to this? Anybody? Is this shaded? Anything going on?
Nope.
Nope.
No,
Not, right? You just have 1.
It's a lonely pizza.
Okay. So now I want to take this whole and I'm going to split it into 2 because I need to share it. Okay. We'll say this is my pizza. My sister's coming over. I got to share my pizza. So I got to give her at least half. So otherwise she'll complain. So now I'm going to do this. Well, now how many parts do I have?
2.
I have 2, right? I have 1 and I have 2. So since I have 2 parts, I'm going to write a 2 on the bottom of my fraction because I have 2 parts. So I have 1 part here for me and 1 part for my sister. Okay. But then I can cut my pizza into even more pieces, right? So let's say I have halves. Well, now my brother's coming over. So now there's 3 of us. Well, now I got to split my pizza into 1 more piece.
How do you do that?
Well, now how many parts do I have?
3.
3.
3.
I have 3 because there's 3 of us there and I have 1, 2, 3 parts, right? So now it's going to change. And I'm going to put a 3 at the bottom. So I have 1, 2, 3. So I have 3 parts. Okay. Well, now, oh no, now my husband's home, right? Now there's 4 of us. So now I have to divide my pizza into even more pieces.
How am I supposed to annotate it?
Where the? Okay, well, we're going to go 5 because apparently I'm missing the thing that has 4. Hold on. Okay. Well, I'm missing the 1/4, but that's okay. We'll go 5. I don't know where the 1/4 went. All right.
That means somebody else is gonna have to come over if you put 5 pieces.
Mm-hmm. Well, here, I'll draw 4. I don't know where the 4 is. So now, how many pieces do I have?
4.
4. So I'm going to have 1/4.
4.
Right? So now I have 4 parts. Okay? Well, now my dad's there.
I knew you were going to say that.
So now there's 5 of us. So now I have to split my pizza into 5s.
And you have 5 pieces.
So how many pieces do I have?
5.
5.
5.
So now I have 5 pieces. Okay? So do you notice, okay, how when every time someone comes over, right, my pizza's getting what? Is it getting bigger or is it getting smaller?
Smaller.
Bigger.
Bigger.
It's getting bigger, but I went from having one
It's
whole.
getting smaller.
It's getting smaller because look at this. Look at these. Which one of these is bigger?
The
red
red pizza, the big
Red.
Which one's bigger? I heard Holly.
Red.
The one that has the 1 on it.
Good
Red.
job, right? The red one is bigger. So as people start to come over, my share of the pizza is getting smaller. So that tells you, are our fractions going to be big or are they going to be small?
Small.
Small.
Small. Our fractions get divided up. Okay, our fractions are small because they get divided smaller and smaller and smaller. Eventually, you're good, Michael. Eventually, you might even get a piece that looks like this. Look how small that piece is in comparison.
It's a mouse.
In comparison to, oops, this one. This one is much smaller, right?
Smaller than the other one.
It's way smaller than the other one.
Looks like a mouse.
It does. So
And then your comes.
as you keep dividing, as you keep breaking up your pizza, your pieces are going to get smaller. So fractions are going to be smaller. They're going to get smaller, okay? Okay, so now let me erase, hold on, all these off of this. Okay, so now let's really talk about what you're gonna see when you see a fraction, okay? So a fraction is a part, right? And we just kind of talked about that. We just said a fraction is not very big. It's a part. So what did I just say is a fraction? It's a what?
It's a small part.
It's a part, right? It is a part of a whole, okay? So a fraction is a part of a whole. It's a part. So a fraction is also a number that shows equal parts of a whole or set of objects, okay? So whenever I was dividing up my pieces, were all of my pieces the same size?
No.
Well, Holly, look at these pieces that I have on here. Are all of these pieces the same size?
Yes, but the other ones won't.
Yeah, but the other ones weren't. But these are all the same size, right? So each time I divide this up, it's going to be equal. It's very important that you understand that. So whenever we have those fractions, they're equal. They show equal parts.
I did this in kindergarten.
Equal means they are the, looking for that S word, the same.
Same.
They are the same. Okay, equal parts means they are the same. Okay, they are the same size. So when you're looking at a fraction, you're going to have part and whole. So this is going to be your whole. So this would be my,
Miss Shawn, do we have to write this?
nope, this would be my whole thing. I'll tell you when you have to write. Right now you're just watching and listening. Right now you're just using your big brain and you're just learning. This is my whole thing. Okay? So I have how many pieces?
3.
3. Okay? And then if I take this away, now how many did I just take from this?
2.
How many did I just take from this? How many is this?
1.
1. So now I have 1/3, right? Because I took these away. I have 1/3. So I have the part that I took away, and then we have whole when we put it back together because there's 3 pieces. Okay. So when we're looking at this, if you're looking at a fraction, okay, this is what a fraction looks like. This is how you write it. Okay, I wrote 1/2. So we talked about 2 really important words. We named them. They were numerator and denominator. Okay, numerator and denominator. Those are 2 really important words that we have to know. Okay, really important. So ready? Let's say them. 1, 2, 3.
Numerator.
Oh, I heard Holly and I heard Isabella. I should hear so many more people. You're unmuting yourself. 1, 2, 3.
Numerator.
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 If something opens up for tomorrow, we will say, hey, we can get you in sooner
Ready?
and go from there.
1, 2, 3.
My name is
Denominator.
Denominator.
Okay, say it one more time. 1, 2, 3.
Denominator.
Denominator.
We have numerator and we have denominator. Okay. So our numerator is how many pieces,
okay. All right.
okay? It's how many pieces you have or how many pieces could be shaded. So if you're looking at a shaded object, it might be how many pieces are shaded. So if I showed you something like this, how many pieces are shaded?
1.
Say it again, Holly. How many are shaded?
1.
1. There's 1 piece that's shaded. So I would put a 1 up at the top. The denominator is how many pieces your whole is broken into. So if I show you this again, how many pieces is this broken into?
1.
1.
Well, no, there's 1,
2.
2. There's 1 that's shaded and there's 1 that's not. So how many pieces is that?
2.
2.
There's 1 that's shaded and there's 1 that's not. So there's 2 pieces total, but 1 is shaded. Okay? So my 1 would go up top and my 2 would go on the bottom. Okay. So when we're looking at fractions, we really want to look at, we're looking at whether pieces are shaded, and we're looking at how many pieces it's broken up into, okay? All right, so now I want you to get your math journal, because we're gonna do just a little bit of some notes just to help you, because we're gonna do a little bit of some practice.
Yes.
I don't want to get up.
Yes, please.
I've got to get up.
Yes, please. Because I want you to get your math journal so you can take just a few notes, just a little bit.
Get up for his fake
Just
mustache.
a little bit. Just a little bit. Because I need us to make sure that we understand fractions, okay? I want to take a little bit of notes. So you're going to write focus, fractions, and then you're going to write our date. So I should see you getting out your math journal. You're writing focus is fractions, that's what we're talking about, and then you're going to write the date. I should see everybody getting out their journals. I only see a few people getting them out. I should see everybody getting them out.
I already took a couple of notes.
Perfect. Well, now you can add what we're going to write to your notes. Okay. So we're going to write okay. I want you to write the question. What is a fraction?
Are we supposed to write what is a fraction?
Yep, write that question.
Okay. And we write what it is, like what it means?
Yeah, we're going to answer it.
Okay.
What is a fraction? All right, so what's a fraction? What did we say?
Part.
It's a part.
Small part. Part.
A part of a whole. A fraction is a part. It's a part of a whole. A fraction shows what kind of parts? Are they the same? Are they?
No, I mean, yes, they're the same, but they're different.
But the
I mean, if they're the same, that would
What's
be
that E word that I used? They're equal.
equal. Equal pieces or equal?
So a fraction is a part of a whole, and it shows equal parts of a whole or set, okay? So, and we're gonna underline equal because it's really important that you understand. It's always gonna, fractions are always gonna be equal, okay? When you divide it up, they're gonna be equal. If they're not equal, then you might have done something wrong. Yes, Grace, you can go to the bathroom. All right. So we said a fraction is a part of a whole and it shows equal parts of a whole or set, right? Now we're gonna put in our journals what a numerator and a denominator is because those are really, really important for us to know. Those are really important vocabulary words for us. So I want you to write, let's see, we'll do a different. Let's do 1/4. Okay, write 1/4 and write it kind of big.
Like 3 lines big for the number.
So then you have enough room to write the words that go with it.
A lot more than just that.
10 lines big.
Not that big.
Okay, I'll erase it.
You don't need it that big. Michael, we're just taking notes about fractions.
Miss Chandler, Miss Davis was not there, so.
Okay. She may have been doing something or pulling in a different group or something.
Is this good?
Perfect. All right. So now I want you to draw an arrow. Okay. Because we're going to have our numerator, right? So our numerator goes on top. And then our other word is denominator.
Denominator. It's kind of like dominoes.
Kind of. We have numerator and denominator. Make sure you're writing this with me. Aiden, make sure you're writing this with me.
For short, can you just call it N and then D?
Write out the whole word,
I
please.
don't remember
I
it.
did,
I think it's nude.
but I meant like, can you call it?
Write out the whole word, Camila.
I did.
Okay, just because we're learning something new. So I want us to write out the whole word so we make sure we know the word.
This isn't new. I learned this in kindergarten.
Well, good. Okay. So numerator. Remember, this is how many pieces you have. Okay? So this is how many pieces you have. So if it's shaded, just like this,
Do we draw that?
yes.
Okay.
So if I have this, how many pieces are shaded?
1.
1. So then I'd have a 1 up here. So this is my shaded piece, right? I have 1 shaded piece. And then my denominator is how many
The pieces that are not shaded.
pieces, not that are not shaded, but how many pieces I have total. How many pieces your whole is broken into. So how many pieces do I have total in this circle? How many pieces is this broken into?
3.
Counting the one that's shaded, Holly, how many pieces is it broken into?
4.
4. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you're counting the one that's shaded when you're looking at the denominator. I want to know how many are there total. Okay, so we're going to write equals how many total. So we remember how many pieces total.
4.
So there's 4. And look, we're going to draw an arrow to each piece. So you remember, you're looking at each piece to draw 4 arrows. Make sure you're taking notes. I see lots of friends that are taking notes, but I see some friends that are just sitting there. Make sure you have this in your journal. I promise you're gonna want it in the future.
I love writing.
I promise you're gonna want this. So make sure you're writing. All right, so that's all we're gonna take notes on today, okay?
Not done.
I know, I'm not moving anything. That's just all we're gonna take notes on.
I've been done since you were done.
Perfect. And then we're gonna do 2 example problems that go along with our fractions, okay? And then we'll go into our independent practice. I have 2 example problems and then we'll go into our independent practice. So I'm gonna just move this up because I'm gonna put the problems down here, okay? Okay, so this says, Javon ordered a pizza. half of the pizza was pepperoni. How much of the pizza was not pepperoni? So right here, I'm going to draw a model. Okay, so I'm going to draw a picture.
Easy.
So I'm going to draw a circle, and then it says half.
Do you use two?
I'm going to draw my line. Where should I divide this pizza up?
Middle.
Straight down the middle.
Miss Chandler, are we supposed to do that one too?
No, you don't have to do this. You're just watching. Just
Okay.
watch. Just watch. All right. Then, how many pepperonis, how many pieces should I put pepperonis on? Both pieces or just one?
One.
Just one, right? Because it says half.
Think about her, she's
Okay. So I'm just putting pepperoni on one half. So now let's read this. Blank out of blank sections of the pizza was not pepperoni. So blank. So how many sections was not pepperoni?
One.
One. So one out of how many sections were there total?
Two.
Two.
and nobody had to invest.
One out of two sections of the pizza was not pepperoni. Awesome. All right, then how would I write this fraction? Think about, look at this. What would go on top, what would go on bottom? How would I write it as a fraction? Think about it looking like this.
Oh, so the top part is the numerator
Okay,
and the bottom is denominator.
good. So Grace, what would that look like?
One on the top and then two on the bottom.
One on the top, two on the bottom. So look, this was super easy, right? So this is what your independent practice is going to look like. So you're drawing a picture, then you're going to tell me out of how many sections of whatever the question is, and then you're going to write it as a fraction. Okay, we're going to do one more. Gabrielle has to read 3 chapters in her book for homework. She has read 2 chapters so far. All right, so I need to make a model. So I'm going to draw a circle. And how many pieces am I dividing this into? How many chapters does she have total?
2.
Total, Dimitri, how many does she have total?
Because that's what
2.
left. Like,
3.
3. Oh, we're gonna pretend that looks equal. It's not super equal, but it's close. How many chapters has she read so far? How many pieces should I shade? How many chapters has she read? Raiden, how many chapters has she read?
2.
2. So Raiden, how many pieces am I gonna shade?
2.
2. So I'm going to shade 1, 2. Okay. So Gabrielle has read blank out of blank chapters in her book. How many chapters has she read? How many pieces did we shade? How many, Miles?
yeah, so
2.
2. Out of how many, Miles? How many are there total?
3.
3. She has read 2 out of 3 chapters. Yes, Casey, you can go to the bathroom. So what should my fraction look like? What's going to go on top? What's going to go on bottom? Isabella, what's going to go on top? You just held up the number.
2.
2. And what's going to go on bottom?
3.
Check it out.
Good job, man. Yay! We're doing so good at fractions. Y'all are awesome. All right. So we think we got this. Y'all think you can do this by yourself? Yeah? Okay.
Of course.
I think y'all got it. Y'all are doing good.